the whole world would not know who Rich Froning is. They would all know who Chad is because, I mean, dude, you can move and you can keep moving, and it's just that sometimes that last like 5% of a movement because of a previous injury is what gets you. But the reality is your motor is just as big as anyone's out there.
Thanks.
Never seen that before in my life.
Thank you.
So for some of our other listeners out there who maybe might want to kind of aspire to get to your level, I have a lot of members who look at the Masters competition, maybe not to get to the games, but they look at that as kind of like their pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Hey, I'm going to train really hard, and eventually I'm not going to be asked to beat these 21 and 22-year-olds in workouts, right? I'm going to be able to compete against my peers. I think a lot of people look at the Masters division as the fairer division, right? Where it's everybody's just against their peers. What kind of things are specifically necessary for those people to take into consideration, maybe as far as like movements that come up a lot in Masters competitions or vice versa, that come up a lot in open competitions that you don't really need to worry about, or kind of managing their age, their sleep, their supplementation, that kind of stuff. Anything specific that you can give as far as advice?
It's interesting because just in the last 12 months from the games last year to what we just saw at remote regionals, we had legless rope climbs, muscle ups, handstand push-ups. So I still think that you're seeing a lot of the same movements, but maybe not quite the load that you're going to see in the open division, or quite the volume where we'll see like 8 workouts over 3 days at the games, and the opens might see like 15 scored events. It's just the CrossFit does a great job of taking into account the age difference, and then it's scaled appropriately as the Masters get older. But what I would say to the people that are training is, first and foremost, just have fun. We take this too seriously sometimes, and we forget that we're working out for fun, and that the community is awesome, and the people that we surround ourselves with, that's what makes it fun. And then secondly, set a goal and get up every morning and reevaluate, is what I'm doing today getting me closer to what my goal is. And sometimes we need to re-ask ourselves that, because we get sidetracked with work or other things in lives, and we always have peaks and valleys in our training, but you want to be constantly moving towards the goal.
Is your philosophy on that, like, reevaluating your goal, getting up, is that something that's just been kind of born of years and years of you training, or did somebody teach you that early on?
To be honest with you, I don't think you can teach that. I think that is, for all of us, it's just like a hunger to be better. I hate to lose. Of course, I never want to be a poor sport, and I tip my hat when I do lose. And
I was gonna say, man, you're like the most gracious, the gracious loser I've ever seen. Like, we've competed against each other, and you beat me in workouts, and I've beat you in workouts. And like, you're coming up and giving me a huge hug, and you're like, "Gosh, dang, buddy, you really did great on that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I feel like I did okay. I feel like I did pretty good, So that's interesting to hear you say.
I love training with people that are better than me, because that makes, if you're just training in your own gym by yourself or with people you're better with every day, you're never getting humbled. But every time you get your butt kicked, I come in here and train with you guys, I get my butt kicked, it makes you that much better, because you either quit or you find a way to get better.
Yeah.
And so I definitely would encourage people to train with people that are better than them, and to take a loss or go do a competition and have fun with it, first of all, but then get your weaknesses exposed and find out ways, have a plan of how we address those weaknesses so that we get better.